Can you believe that Thanksgiving's already over and the Christmas season is here? So let's talk about an excellent Christmas movie. I almost said that with a straight face. We're going to kick off talking about this Christmas season with a Christmas horror film, Krampus. Welcome to Durbania. I'm Durbin, and this is my theological analysis for Krampus. I can't believe Thanksgiving is over. I can't believe we're already into the Christmas season. And yes, I did think Krampus is the perfect movie to kick off talking about the Christmas season with. Because when you watch Krampus, you find that it's about one thing: the true spirit of Christmas. What that true spirit of Christmas really is, and by rejecting that true spirit of Christmas, well, we're actually inviting in when that happens. So I'm like, wow, this movie, on top of the horror stuff that it does, and the comedy, and the other crazy things that are in this, the message is actually pretty deep. So what is the true spirit of Christmas? That would be an important thing to define for this movie. So with this movie, you have the grandmother talking with her grandson Max in the kitchen, and she's asking, if he finished writing his letter to St. Nicholas and all that stuff. This is where we get this movie's definition of the spirit of Christmas. And this movie emphasizes sacrifice. Sacrificial giving is like the huge component of the spirit of Christmas. Because with sacrificial giving, even if you have family that drives you up a wall, and we've all been there, right? Family around the table for Christmas. Key trigger words and phrases are spoken that get right under his skin.
This is delicious, honey.
It's a little dry.
Well, mine's delicious.
Mine's dry.
Do you want to trade?
Yeah, we all know what that's like. But even when our feathers get ruffled, there's this thing of sacrificial giving, this thing of sacrificial love, where we love anyway, and we appreciate what we have in them as they are. And so this is what the spirit of Christmas is. In this movie, they're talking about not being self-centered, but having a sacrificial love for one another, having a heart of giving, and a believing heart, believing in miracles, believing in the good. And sometimes the miracles we need to believe in is the miracle of reconciliation with family, which is exactly what Max is believing for in this movie. His letter to St. Nicholas, that's what it's about. It's about how his wish, more than gifts, more than presents, more than things, his wish is for his family to be together without fighting and to love each other the way he used to remember it. It reminds me very much of what Jesus said. It is better to give than to receive. And Jesus put that into practice in his own life. Because why is sacrificial giving such an important concept, especially for Christmas? Well, because Christmas celebrates the birth of Jesus, which was phase one of his ultimate sacrifice. And I can't even imagine how hard phase one would just be. Here is God the Son, eternally existent, living in perfection in heaven, and lays that aside to be born a human baby on this dust-ridden earth and to take on the challenges, the temptations, and all the stuff that we take on, but then to resist that negative and overcome so that we can be set free in our lives. Like, it's incredible when you think about that. That is a huge sacrifice. And what did we do to deserve that? Nothing. We hate, we murder, we lie, we steal, everything bad under the sun. We do it, and yet he found you and me worth it enough to give sacrificially and to give of himself sacrificially so that we could be restored, so that the family could be restored in that right relationship with him. So what happens in this movie when the spirit of Christmas gets rejected? When the spirit of Christmas gets rejected, it's actually inviting a different spirit. And that spirit is Krampus. So if the spirit of Christmas is sacrificial giving, if it's love, if it's joy, if it's those things that we really think of with Christmas, then the shadow of that would have to be punishment. The shadow of that will have to be taking. And that's exactly what Krampus is. He is the shadow. And so when the substance is rejected, the shadow is invited. When the spirit of love and sacrificial giving and joy is rejected, the spirit of punishment and taking is invited. So what we have here is first the grandma. The grandma tells a story of when she was young, living in this village. The entire village had just given up on Christmas.
But our village had given up on miracles and on each other.
And even her parents did. You get to see this clip of her parents fighting, ripping her stuffed Santa Claus toy in half. And this is the thing that just ends it for her. And seeing all the strife in the village, but then more so seeing the strife in her own family between her father and mother, she gave up her hope. And when she gave up her hope, this is when Krampus came. And Krampus took everything, but left her as a reminder of what happens when this true spirit of Christmas is rejected. That is terrible, but that is the acts of an evil demon spirit named Krampus. Same thing happens in this movie. Max is the lone holdout in belief. He is the lone holdout in hope that his family will come together. This movie opens with an amazing picture of crowds of people bursting into a store, trampling people over in a typical Black Friday sale.
But our village had given up on miracles and on each other.
And when it's more on this intimate scale in his family, and they're all so offended by each other, and it's all brooding under the skin, it's all festering under the skin, finally his cousins steal his letter to St. Nicholas, and they read it out loud, they laugh at it, they make fun of it. I mean, sure, it's touching, and there's kind of this moment of pause because it's touching. But whatever, they make fun of it, and this is his last straw. That picture of Max ripping up his letter to Santa Claus and casting it to the wind is the most powerful picture in this movie for me. Because to me, that is the picture of him taking those hopes and those dreams that he held dear, and he was going to put them in the hands of the true spirit of Christmas. He then gave up on all of it, ripped it to shreds, and gave it over to the own bitterness in his heart. He cast it to the wind, giving it over to the spirit of punishment and to the spirit of taking. So by rejecting the spirit of Christmas, he invited that spirit of punishment and of taking. And that's what I like about this movie. I feel like this movie is a cautionary tale about when we hit this Christmas season of taking a moment and remembering what it's really about and loving those in our lives, no matter how much sometimes they might hurt us. Just remembering how precious it is to just have them in our lives. And for me, the true spirit of Christmas is Jesus Christ, and honoring him and letting him love through me, and taking my hopes and my dreams, and instead of giving them over to the own bitterness in my heart, releasing those hopes and dreams over to him and releasing my heart over to him and letting him have it, letting him change things, and that spirit of sacrificial giving loving through me. So, what did you think of this movie if you happened to see it? What do you think it has to say about Christmas? Let me know in the comments and let's have a conversation about that. While you're there, hit the subscribe button to become a Durbanian. Next to that button is the bell. Click it so you're notified the moment I drop another theological analysis, movie review, ranking video, trailer reaction, or whatever else. And I want to say a huge thank you to all my patrons. You guys are awesome, and it means so much to me that you do give and support to Durbania. That's just incredible. Thank you so much. And please make sure to check out all the other videos I have here. I'm Durbin. Thanks for checking out Durbania.